Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something awesome. We are looking at the 1992 release by Matchbox from the Gerry series of miniature figures and playsets. And this particular item we are looking at today is from the classic Gerry TV series Stingray. And the action figure we're looking at today is of the captain of Stingray, who was Troy Tempest. Now, Stingray was one of the early series that Gerry produced under W.A.S.P films, and it was a series that ran for I think it was 39 episodes, and the episodes were about 25 minutes long, and it was basically the TV series. It was set in the 2060s. And it followed the exploits of the World Aquanault Security Patrol, or W.A.S.P as they was otherwise known as, and they were responsible for policing the Earth's oceans. And during their travels underwater, they come into contact with various different underwater civilizations, some friendly, some hostile, as well as some very unusual phenomenon that goes on. And Stingray was their flagship, and it was captained by obviously Troy Tempest, together with his navigator Lieutenant Phones and Marina, who was a mute woman from under the sea. In other words, a mermaid without a tail, and they investigated all sorts of things going on under the Earth's ocean. Okay, so this is the packet that the figure comes on, and at the very top it says Matchbox, and it's got item number SR251 and Stingray. You've got an image there of the Stingray submarine, and you've also got an image of the Terrorfish, which was one of Titan's underwater ships. And Titan was one of the amphibians from under the water, the evil amphibian from under the water. And it's a standby for action, which was the catchphrase of W.A.S.P. Usually spoke by Commander Shaw, and it says Captain Troy Tempest, ages 4 and up. Okay, so that's the front of the card. Let's spin it round and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I turn the card round, and this is what we've got on the back. So again, it's got Matchbox and Stingray. It says Captain Troy Tempest, born 2038. Troy qualified at the World Navy Academy in San Diego, and at 18 joined the submarine service. Following numerous acts of bravery, he was transferred to W.A.S.P, to the post of captain of the super submarine Stingray. Troy, age 27, is a strong leader, afraid of nothing, yet at the same time has a good sense of humour. In the year 2065, the World Aquanault Security Patrol, W.A.S.P, operates to ensure world security, operating from the Marineville base. The Stingray team under Commander Sam Shaw comes under constant attack from underwater world of amphibians and Titan. The incredible world of Stingray. Collect the entire range of Stingray. It's a specification and colour of content subject to amendment. Matchbox Toys Limited, Swift Park, Old Leicester Road, Rugby, CV21 1DZ UK. It keeps its address for future reference. And then it says Tyco Industries Inc., who obviously are the manufacturers, New Jersey, Matchbox Toys Pty Limited, and you got all the copyright and licensing information at the bottom. You've got the barcode there as well. It says 1993 Tyco Toys Inc., and the assortment number is SR250, and Troy Tempest is item number SR251. It's got 1992 ITC Entertainment Group Limited, licensed by Copyright Promotions Limited. Okay, so that's the back of the card. So let's turn the card back round to the front and have a good look at the figure itself. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on the figure itself, and there you can see Troy Tempest in his Stingray captain's uniform. It's a pretty good likeness, actually, of the character as he appears in the television series. And he is dressed in that uniform that he wears when he's piloting Stingray, and he comes there complete with his blaster. Now, these figures were released in 1993, Yeah, 1983, and that tied in with the return of Stingray to mainstream television, which it hadn't been until, well, since the 1960s. So it was a like a Gerry Anderson revival, because they not only did they do Stingray, they also done Thunderbirds, Joe 90, and I think Captain Scarlet. They all made a comeback in the 90s. And was put back on mainstream television. They were updated. Well, I say updated. They were digitally remastered and put back onto television, and run again the whole seasons of the original transmissions. And that spurned all these release of toys. And Matchbox produced a whole range of figures and play sets from Stingray. But anyway, I've digressed here. So, as you can see, Troy Tempest is attached to the card. I can't take him out, but I do have for my own collection one of these Matchbox Troy Tempest figures, and he is out of the card, and he is my own one, which sits inside my Stingray submarine. But I just wanted to show him to you so you can see the articulation and the size. So let's measure the size. We're looking at an overall height of about 9 centimeters, maybe just over 9 centimeters. Yeah, 9.5 centimeters from the bottom of his foot to the top of his cap. 9.5 centimeters inch-wise. That is 3 and 3. Well, just under 4 inches. Yeah, 3 3/4 inches, I'd say. So width-wise, if you measure across Troy, we're looking at widest point about 3.5 centimeters, and if we measure him depth-wise from the widest point, you're looking at 2 centimeters. Because of the way his arms stand. Okay, articulation wise, there's not a tremendous amount of articulation on these figures, but for the small figures it's pretty good. So you've got the head, which turns from left to right. I think it does actually turn all the way around if you wanted to turn it all the way around. You've got the shoulder articulation, so the arms go up and down. But remember, these are puppets, so they didn't put a tremendous amount of articulation into them because they were supposed to emulate the on-screen version. And of course, the legs is just a movement up and down. There's no waist movement. It's just literally the legs going up and down. There's no movement of the hands and no movement of the feet. So it literally is head, 2 arms and 2 legs. That's the articulation. So only 5 points of articulation there. But like I say, it is a good likeness to Troy Tempest from the television series. And you can see, I realise he's a puppet, but they have actually made the facial features of the figure very, very good to match the facial features of the character as seen in the television series. Okay, so that is the figure, and of course he comes with his blaster there, which I haven't got one of those separate. My little figure seems to have lost his blaster. It might be actually being a Stingray. I didn't have a really good look for it, but there we are. It's just a little blaster, and it does fit in his hand, although he doesn't hold it very well, as the hands on these are not really designed to hold anything. They're really just designed to look good. And also the gun, you would think it would sit in the holster, but the holster doesn't open, so you can see that's all sealed up. It's all solid plastic, so you can't even put that in there, which is hence the reason why they have a tendency to get lost. Okay, so that is the figure. How well did these figures do? Well, yeah, I mean, they've done quite well when they first came out. Obviously, the Gerry Anderson television series returning to mainstream television found a whole new audience. Originally, obviously, from the 1960s, which is when we was watching them, when we was kids. And then, of course, in the 90s, almost 30 years on, they returned to mainstream TV. Found a whole new audience in the generations below us, or the next generation below us, maybe the 2 generations below. So it was a big thing. All of the Gerry Anderson series done very well again when they went back onto the mainstream television, and spawned numerous types of merchandise. I think most of it was done between Matchbox and Vivid. And there was all sorts of play sets produced. For Stingray, you had the actual Stingray ship, you had the Marineville play set, as well as the figures, the range of figures, and you had also the die casts Stingrays and Terrorfish, which actually was in size comparison to the Marineville playset. So yeah, I mean, there was quite a lot of merchandise produced, and it did sell very well when Stingray was on TV. But bear in mind, there was only 39 episodes produced of Stingray. So again, once it had come to an end on TV, it had finished and the merchandise stopped. And the next Gerry Anderson TV series that went on screen, that was the next one where the merchandise was produced again. So they would run for a short amount of time during the television's TV series television run again. But during that short time, they did sell a tremendous amount of merchandise. Now, 32 years on, how difficult is it to find these items now? Well, 32 years, obviously, I mean, it's a lot of time between when the toys are released until now. And yes, they are becoming quite difficult to find, especially in this mint, unopened condition. You can pick a lot of the figures up and the play sets up loose on the platforms. They do come up quite regularly, but most of the time they are loose. You don't see them that often sealed in the packets. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. The common ones do pop up more often on the platforms than the uncommon ones. The uncommon ones are the ones where you only got 1 or 2 in a case, whereas ones like Troy Tempest, you did get 4 or 5 in the case. So Troy is probably one of the most common figures, although, yeah, I mean, he was one of the most common figures. He doesn't come up that very often on the platforms now, though. Maybe everybody that wanted him has got him. There's very few around now. Remember, these haven't been made in over 32 years, so who knows? But he doesn't come up very often in this mint seal condition. However, as usual, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few of these, and they are available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Gerry Anderson items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.